Hello, everyone. I hope traders and investors alike were green today. What another awesome day in the markets. Just a huge move up. And to be honest, I kind of expected more of a holding pattern type day of some chop waiting on for Nvidia's earnings to come out. But we did end up pushing higher today, and Nvidia comes out with a huge record earnings with a huge beat. Sounds like the China demand was up huge for the AI products and other chips as well. I was trying to listen to as much of the earnings call as I could. It's about 13 after 5 now Eastern time. Had to get on the video. So let's look at the charts and we'll talk about stuff as we go. Let's keep in mind we still got Big Daddy Powell on Friday. So the SPX weekly, we are trying to push back up this week after closing lower last week. Right now, we're looking like a bullish Arami. Let's keep in mind this candle has not closed yet, trading in between that 9 and 20. Breath trying to push higher, and with earnings coming out and all the talk and the good news that's coming out with it, the way it sounded, this could kind of destroy our head and shoulders pattern that we were expecting, which is fine. That's great. Would love to continue higher. So we can see breath here was up. Uh, this is the SPX equal weight. We can see we're trying to push back up here. We did touch this 200 one day, but we've been trying to work our way higher. Watch the 9 there. The dollar high close candle today
NVDA
there.
CFO says L40
Let's turn that down.
by the Taiwan Semiconductor
So VIX, we did come back into, dipped under the 9, come back into the 20. We're seeing this a lot on a lot of time frames. We're losing the 20 to come right back in. Look to see if we can hold this 20 and reclaim this 9 and push higher. I obviously want the VIX to come in. You can see this trend line through here. See if we lose the 20 and that trend line, we'll look for a move down. But if we reclaim that 9 and that resistance level, we're going to look for a move higher. Hopefully, it'll continue lower and the markets will continue up. But we'll see. We got to keep an eye on what we have. So we posted this bear flag and talked about this in pre-market. You can see that we've broken out of here, and now we have an H sell pattern. And if you look, it's almost starting to be very head and shoulders there as well. You can probably get a little shoulder out of that head and a small shoulder. But we definitely have a H cell pattern there. We have a lower high. We were expecting to put in a handle. So see how much lower we want to go. Your typical handle on average pulls back 30% of the actual pattern. So that's, if you wanted to draw that out and look for the 30% mark, that's where your average typical, but not all markets are different. We don't always do that. I say look for a reaction. Let it pull back, let it do its thing. We will definitely see a reaction. Oh, so Apple here, we are back above the 9. Watch your 20 there and the 50 up above us. Apple on the intraday had a nice push up at open, but then we run right into a level here and just chopped around. Did manage to push up above it right there at the end of the day, but struggling after it made a huge move up. Gold, nice candle there today, went back up above that 9, hit the daily 50, seeing some resistance there. See how we handle that tomorrow. You can see advanced decline lines. So New York Stock Exchange turning up, that's a great sign. The SPX, SP 500 turning up. The mid caps and small caps you can see are still lagging there. AMC, this is just getting destroyed, had this big bear flag, which triggered for a large move down. They tried to come back for this candle and push it up today, but looks like the bears were able to take that candle back down. That is still a high close candle moving on volume, but it barely closed higher. AMD, you can see this huge move here. We're getting ready to look at a big move on the video. I mean, it's been as high as 519.11. Huge move there. Anybody who called a win off of that, congratulations. A big gamble. It definitely paid off if you're in it. I hope you go big green. A nice move up there, and I do mean big green. Amazon, watch that 9 and 20. We're back above the 20, but we did close below the 9, so we need to keep an eye on that. ARK, we did close back above the 9 there as well, seeing some strength coming back into ARK. That's good. We keep an eye on growth names as long as we see ARK pushing. AMD, you can see AMD is trying to get back into the box. Actually, we gapped up into it and got slammed back out of it today, pushing back higher. Do have some matching candles there. See how we handle that. We need to break up above that area, which we know now that we are. So see where the move in the morning, see if it holds, and see where we open up tomorrow. Watch the top of that box, depending on where we open. AMD on the weekly, you see trying to reclaim that weekly 20. Hopefully this overnight move can get us back above that weekly 9. Remember, you can draw a downtrend right through there. We're looking for a trend break, and we'll probably get that. Hopefully we get confirmation at the end of the week. Amazon, nice move here as well. So as expected, earnings, NVIDIA's earnings is lifting the market here, and that was a big catalyst coming into this week that we did know about. We're still hoping for some movement on Powell for Jackson Hole on Friday. Amazon, we are on the weekly back above that 9. You got that weekly 200 there, and we are back above that as well. It's all about where we close, and we know right now we're gapping up overnight. Hopefully we can hold that into market open tomorrow. Apple on the weekly reclaiming that 20 there as well. Boeing trying to push back up. Watch this breakout area coming bear flagging right now. It's just a bear flag back into that 9. Seeing some rejection there. So we can keep an eye on that one. BTU, just coal stocks are not doing anything right now. Bands look like they want a 2. Beyond Meat broke out that contraction pattern to the downside. Has been moving lower. Bitcoin, seeing a little bit of strength in here. Just today, you can see it push back up into the 9. I mean, it's pretty weak down there. We need to take this range out right here to push higher. Pretty weak. We got to get back above that 9. Communication sector, XLC, still, pushing higher out of that inverted head and shoulders pattern. We did pull back, reclaiming some moving hours today. See how we handle that. XLP, not a bad move here either, trying to push back up, but we are still under some moving averages here. So let's be careful with some of these stocks. Tech and AI may be moving, but it does not mean it's going to lift all these names as well. So let's really be careful. Maybe a stock picker's market. Cost back into the Bollinger Bands. We closed back into those Bollinger Bands today. DraftKings still under that daily 50. Actually, that candle closed under that daily 9 as well. Keep an eye on that MACD. DDOG. So this one has been pushing higher. I'm struggling up here a little bit. 9's trying to turn up. MACD's trying to change character. This one's worth keeping an eye on. As the more we push up, the more we're filling that gap there. So we still have some gap. Let's keep an eye on that name. You can see we do have a heavy volume profile in this area. If we can clear this area right here, we should be able to move higher. A little easier, less volume profile like that just means it's less resistance or support or resistance in that area. Lilly breaking out of that little bear flag here, pushing higher. I do believe that had some catalyst news this week on one of the drugs. I honestly, I know it had some news, but I couldn't call the news. I don't really watch that stuff like that. I just like to know that it has news, but there's so many things going on with some of the drug companies that it's hard to keep up with all of it. Forward, this head and shoulders pattern is working great after the false breakout to push right back up into the shoulder and then breaking lower. Still a nice move down here, trying to get back above that 9. We can keep an eye on that one as well if you're interested in trading it. It is a pretty slow mover. Google, we broke out of this little symmetrical triangle to the downside, false breakout, trying to push higher. Did close to the upside back out of that little symmetrical triangle, or some people would just look at that as a flag. Either way, it's just a pattern. We're looking for a break, plan A, plan B. We plan on trading it whichever way it goes. We are options traders, so we can do that. Home Depot on the daily below the 9 and 20. Lowe's just reported. Lowe's report looked a lot like Home Depot. We know we got this resistance here. So we talked about this double top here. We've been trying to break down, trying to come back up and retest the area. But we know on the weekly time frame that we do have some serious resistance here. We also have that 9 weekly there. So we have to be careful with that. Good for short-term trades until we clear those areas. We got a little room in there to make money. IWM. Decent push today, and you can see it's trying to push here after hours as well. Not up as big as the tech names, but it is trying to. We are seeing a reaction to Qs. You can see the daily 9 here does, this does want to turn up, and you can see the daily 50, or I'm sorry, the daily 20 and daily 50 there. Daily 9 is trying to turn up. This MACD is trying to cross and push higher. but we need to see that MACD cross. You need to see those levels cleared. You can see the Qs here, very nice push. So we've had at least a $2.80 move, something like that. Well, it looks like 270. Yeah, about $3 there. Nice move after hours on the Qs. The Qs that should get us back up above this daily 9 tomorrow or weekly 9 tomorrow. Hopefully we can close back above that throughout the week, and if going into next week be above the weekly 9. That would be great, and hopefully this market wants to push higher. But we got to keep in mind we are coming into September. There's a lot going on. The market does not have to pull back, but September is historically the worst month of the year, and the probabilities of having a low close month are there. They're big and they're there. We do need to respect that. Play the action. Just be aware the market tells us what it wants to do. JP Morgan, he had just a big down candle yesterday. Tried to retrace some of it today. Looks like a tight range day there. Mara, trying to get back up here possibly to the daily 9, see how it acts, if it can make it back up to the daily 9 or hang out there and let the 9 catch up. Merck breaking out to the upside here. I'd still be careful with this one. Safety names may be in play before the Nvidia's report. So with Nvidia's report, they may try to sell some of these names. That MACD looks good. I'm not saying they will, but that head and shoulders pattern, we know we can push hard out of a head and shoulders pattern just to break lower. So we just need to keep an eye on that. That is an upward sloping head and shoulders. And please remember, a lot of people talk about head and shoulders patterns and when they're upward sloping. So it's not about taking a neckline out. When you're dealing with an upward sloping head and shoulders pattern, you can trade the neckline if you would like, if you have room to move, but you need to pay attention more to the armpit. The horizontal support on the armpit is bigger than the trend line support. Either one of those two levels or both of those levels can cause a level of support. So for upward sloping, you can take a trade crossing the arm or crossing that neckline down to the armpit, but textbook says you should wait before you get below the armpit, and it makes sense because there is horizontal support there. Possibly, could be. Doesn't mean there is that every single time, but could be. And depends on the mood of the market, the momentum of the asset, the whole 9 yards of what can happen there. Meta tried to test that 50 today, did test the daily 50 today, got rejected, closed back below that daily 9. You can see Meta here after hours, nice push up, trying to get back into the Bollinger Bands on the 15 now. MU, decent close today. I'm sure it's moving higher as well. Microsoft, this one as well is moving higher. Strong close today, high close candle back above the 20-50 next stop, but you can see it made a nice move here after hours back into the BBs here, the 9's catching up. So Nvidia has clearly moved at least the tech sector of the market. Microsoft back above this 20. Watch your weekly 20. Watch your weekly 9 there if this thing does try to push. So we haven't done a whole lot of damage. We just went into a corrective phase. We pulled back. We can reclaim this. This is a lot like the same setup we're seeing on the 1 minute chart right now, where we're losing the 9, and sometimes we even lose the 20 just to come back and reclaim them. I still like those moving averages. We talk about this. So we talk about the goose head all the time. We call this out all the time. These moving averages look good right now. If we can reclaim these, it'll carry that 9 higher. We want to keep an eye on that. Microsoft, it's not the best looking chart right now because it's below that weekly 9. But that's not a bad looking chart if we can hold that and push higher. And with Nvidia's earnings coming out, we know that candle's going to move higher because it has gapped up, and that's a weekly candle. Plus, we need to see if we can hold that overnight. A lot happening here. Nvidia trying to push back up and retrace the previous day's candle, but as you can see, we once again have made a nice move. So it looks like we've been as high as 519.11 so far. Nice move. A lot of the call so far sounds good from what I can tell. Hopefully we can hold these overnight and we can continue higher tomorrow. Just keep in mind when we get these big moves, a lot of times there's inside days, so it may be a stock picker's market tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be really interesting if we can hold this overnight. You can see Nvidia on the weekly now. I talk about this all the time. This looks like a 1 minute chart. We traded a couple trades like this, look exactly like this chart today, and we talked about them, had them up live, and talked in detail about why this is such a good looking chart and why this is working very well right now. And of course, if you're in my group, you're recognizing it already. So we've been breaking the 9 just to reclaim it and push. We'll reclaim that 9 on the 1. We've been able to push. This is exactly what's happening here. And we also know this candle is going to move higher tomorrow as long as we can hold that move because Nvidia is up big right now. So Nvidia is up here right now. I mean, of course, my chart stops and it goes into a different number up there, but Nvidia is up there right now. But it's a weekly chart, so it doesn't show that yet. But it will show that in that candle. NASDAQ, because weekly chart won't gap. You know, you can get a gap on the close of a candle, but when it shoots up, that weekly candle is just going to push up tomorrow with no gap because it's still forming that candle. So NASDAQ pushing back up, back above the 9. You got your 50 and 20 there above us. Netflix regaining some moving averages today. A nice run here as well. One of the stronger ones, back above the 9 and 20, but closed below that 50. See what we get there. They had good volume on that stock today as well. Uh, the Qs, we pull back a little bit. We're looking for some kind of handle in here. Hopefully we can push back up. Hopefully that's all the pullback the market wants and we can go higher. If we do, we can start watching for all-time highs. A lot of good news is coming out on Nvidia. And I'm not saying that's where the market's going. Please play the action. There's plenty of opportunities and plenty of money to be made by playing the opportunities instead of just guessing of which way you think it's going to go. So Ribbon here did try to push back up today. Not a big candle. See if we can get back up that daily 9 and see how we act. Better places for your money right now. Roku, decent day today here as well. It did close back above that daily 9. See if we get a move up to that daily 20. SPX trying to push higher here as well, back above that daily 9. Watch your daily 50 as we push higher. So we are expecting that head and shoulders pattern here. That could happen. We could blow right through that, and hopefully that's what happens, and we just continue up through the rest of the year and have no issues. But that, that may not be what happens here. So let's continue to play the action. But hopefully we can destroy those thoughts of that head and shoulders pattern forming. Hopefully Jackson Hole goes good, and that gives the market some more momentum. Also want to keep an eye on the market coming into that because we could try to go into a holding pattern. Exactly what I thought the market wanted to do today, and I was wrong. The market ran. We did chop around for a short period of time, maybe 20 minutes or so, but then the market did start to push, and we had a nice day. A lot of things were in line today for a move higher. We called the market higher all day long. Things look great. We constantly said, do not go short. Stay long, stay in long positions. Doesn't mean you have to hold, but there's plenty of opportunities to get in and out of the stock. SLB, we did have this nice bullish engulfing candle here today. So you can see this gap down and then ripped higher. Strong move there today. SoFi, had a little bear flag here. You can see it gap down and then shot back up, closed over that 9. That intraday action is just not great. I mean, if you look at that chart, I can't trade stuff. I trade off candles, so looking at a chart like that, I don't, it's just not there. When the volume's not there, it's not there. The diamond below this daily 50 today. We did have a high close candle, but you can see some resistance here, and that's your daily 50. This 9 rolling over is your daily 9 as well, and you can see your moving averages possibly getting ready to change character. See your histogram bar pulling in. Keep an eye on that. The CFM still showing money flowing out. I don't watch the CFM on every chart, but I do on certain charts, like the diamond here on the weekly as well. Still showing money in on the weekly chart, but the daily chart has been showing some money coming out of it. Just like anything else when it comes to your time frames, it takes longer with your higher time frames for indicators to show what's happening. This is why we start with, or look at the higher time frames, but this is why we also get a good look within the intraday charts as well. And you can see SPY. Same setup. This is a great looking setup right now. Let's see what this 20 wants to do. Looks like this can move higher. We know this candle's going to push higher in the morning because we are up right now. Not huge on the SPY, but we're up. Let's see. Let me check just to make sure that it's holding. Yeah, the SPY is still holding in well. Just looking at the 15-minute chart here. So you can see. Obviously, if we can push up tomorrow, we can end up taking that out. But we lost to 20, and the same thing, we've been right down to the 1-minute chart. This is what's been happening for about 7 weeks. We've been losing to 20. You're better off, I know we're so used to taking trades off the 9, but a lot of those trades ain't working. You're better off to let it break the 9. If it pushes off the 9, you could miss a trade. But in this market right now, you're better off to let it break the 9, come back down there, and reclaim the 9. That's where you look for your entry at. SPY. We talked about possible handle here on the monthly chart. Hopefully we can, push this candle back up and close high on the month. We'll see. SPY on the daily. We were watching this possible bear flag break. We gapped up a little bit and was just ripped higher above that daily 9. Watch your daily 50 up there. This MACD is changing character. Strong move today, and with this momentum overnight, hopefully into the rest of the week, going into PAL, hopefully we can continue higher and really get that MACD changing character. Have no problems being wrong about the head and shoulders forming. Glad Nvidia did great. Hopefully this market can go higher. SPY pushing higher here. I mean, you can clearly see on your 15-minute chart. Nice move. Square down here on the lows, trying to push back up. MACD's trying to change character. Shop. Nice candle there today. Nice bullish engulfing candle back above that 9 closing. See if we get some follow through on that. Watch your 20 and your 50 day on your daily. Tesla, nice push here, getting back into the Bollinger Bands after hours. XLK. So you can see the MACD trying to change character down here. See if we can get a change in the CFMs. Another one money's been coming out of, but you can see that's trying to change character. So seeing a little bit coming back in the last few days. We're not back green yet, but definitely seeing a little bit of money come back in with these earnings. The AI craze is hopefully going to kick in. See what we can do here. Starting to see some profitable numbers. I mean, this was a blowout report, so it's a profitable, very, very profitable record report with Nvidia due to AI. So let's keep an eye on the market and watch this AI craze. Tesla weekly push back above that weekly 20. Tesla daily. This candle gap down today and push back up. We did gap down on some news out of the Germany plant this morning. Uber struggling in between some moving averages there. I need this to clear these moving averages. I need to be up above that 20 to even think about trading that. It's just not enough room to make money. Walmart bear flagging. It did push up today, but right into that 9. See how we handle the 9. Got the 50 below us. Once again, want to clear some moving averages there. XLF. So you can see we did gap up. You can see small gap up and then pushing higher, matching candles up there. We need to clear that area. The TLT, the 20-year strong move back up today. This is good. I actually meant to add the yield chart back in, but bonds pushing up like this is pulling rates in. So that's actually good for the market. The economy likes rates to pull in, and that's just creating a little bit of excitement here. Then you add that with Nvidia, hopefully we can push, and then Jackson Hole. Just want to point out we do have some heavy volume profile up there if we do continue to push. IWM on the weekly, holding that weekly 20. Got a little hammer candle down here so far. Can we push higher? Let's take a look at the weekly daily. So kind of bear flagging still below this 9. We know we're up a little bit in pre or after hours, but we are not up like the rest of the market. So see how IWM acts tomorrow. Are these going to be the names that they come after or not? Definitely the semis are on watch here. And please remember, discipline. It's discipline. That's the key to your success in trading. Hope you have a great night, and I will see you in the trading room.